I can't even fucking turn that now. Now, I guess I'll press the new one onto here. Alright, that's all replaced. That's nice now. Ooh, yeah, that's sexy. Alright, I'm gonna give the gearbox a wash. So I got this sprayer, because I'm going to be spraying underneath the car to clean up some oil at some point. And you can use this thing upside down, because this thing has a weight on the end of it. Look, it's soft and floppy and kind of reminds me of something. That's as squeaky as she's going to get, I think. So I just scrubbed it with a toothbrush and some heavy duty degreaser. Turned out okay. The bearing carrier's in, so we can chuck it in tomorrow, I guess. And now I've got to go to the doctor's. All dolled up for that. We'll tackle the rest tomorrow with Sarah. Okay folks, as you can see, poor NooB is looking very pulled apart at the moment. And I'll explain what's going on. So pretty much my friend Sarah came around the other week. We had the gearbox out, we got it out. I cleaned it, scrubbed it up, looking fucking schmick. Put a new thrust bearing in there. Because the original thrust bearing was fucked. Like, I'm not even joking, it was shagged. That shouldn't be that fucking tight. The gearbox is now back in, as you can see, or maybe not see very well. Actually putting it in went way quicker than we thought it would. So Sarah came around early in the morning. We thought it was going to be an all-day endeavour and we would struggle with our weak fucking girly arms. We fucking got it in like within, I don't know, an hour. It was in and bolted up. I'm like, well, what the fuck do we do for the rest of the day? So we kind of pulled the window out. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time now. I've been too freaking reluctant and or lazy to do, but it's something I've needed to do. And there's a few reasons why. You probably know that seals do this over time, but the rubber ends up turning really hard like plastic after a while. And that is what happened here. A few videos ago, last year, I ended up getting the seals manufactured for these. So I helped with Toyhead Auto's manufacturing process by giving them my new old stock one, and also them sending me seals to test fit on the GT in the other shed over there. After 3 tries, we got it pretty fucking good. And I've got a seal that I want to fit to this because I'm sick of rainwater getting inside and ruining shit. I made this parcel shelf. I don't want that to get trashed and I have to make another one because I also swapped the interior to black a while ago, and I don't want the rainwater to fuck it basically. So that's reason number 1 for pulling the rear windscreen out. The other reason is swapping to black interior. The roof lining was still brown in this, and to swap the roof lining, it's normally glued along here. So you need to pull the rear windscreen out just to swap roof lining. So I thought if I'm doing this, I'm going to do everything I need to do at once and swap it over. So the original roof lining was pretty fucking gross, honestly. And I'll show you that now. I don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty fucking disgusting. And especially back here where the rear windscreen was. Look at this. Definitely water getting in and completely trashing the roof lining. So a while back I ended up wrecking a Celica that had a grey roof lining, which was actually what I got a lot of the interior parts out of for this, swapping to black interior. And mind the fucking mess, okay? I have a lot going on. My wife and I scrubbed it a couple days ago, and it's come up looking pretty fucking mint, honestly. You probably can't really tell with the camera, I don't know at the moment. I'll know when I go to edit it though, but pretty much I'm gonna fit that into this, and then I'm gonna have to get either my brother or Sarah or my wife or somebody to help me fit the new seal into this. And then I can finally put my interior back together. Because right now, most of the interior is just piled up here, which is it. This is everything I had to pull out just to get the roof lining out, by the way. You're probably wondering what all this shit is too. Tail shaft I pulled out while getting the gearbox out, and I decided to just leave it out for a minute because I might swap the diff to the RA40 one I have here. But I do need to do some test fits first, so I'm gonna have to whack the axles in this and just test it under the car and then test my wheels and make sure they don't hit anywhere. It's not gonna be hard to whack some axles in this thing and then just bolt it in. Also, I have a whole bunch of stuff here, brand new stuff. So I got the brake booster rebuilt, the calipers rebuilt, the master rebuilt. That's the panhard rod from the other day. Got some pads, they're nothing fancy, they're just RDA ones, like so are the drums, and so are the friggin' rotors. A new clutch slave, a new clutch master, some front wheel bearings. I have some rear wheel bearings on order to run in that diff, as well as seals. Shoes, drums as I mentioned, and all new springs and clips and stuff for the rear drums, and the slave cylinders on the rear. So basically everything on the braking system is going to be brand spanking new. The only thing I'm still waiting on now is the brake lines. I put up a post on the 40 group asking where we get some stainless lines or something that's just better than the rubber anyway. Somebody suggested I go see Australian Clutch Services. So I go there with my clutch line and the 3 brake lines, which are all made of the same shit, same fittings, everything. And I was doled up for it. I was doled up for it, so you know, I get funny looks and shit when people hear me talk. But anyway, I walk in and the guy's like, "Oh, how you doing, ladies?" to my wife and I. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good, man." He's sort of like confused. And then I showed him the box with the hoses in it. And I'm like, "I want to get these remade." And he's like, "Oh, okay, yep. What you got there?" I'm like, "Well, that's the clutch line." He's like, "Oh, yeah, no worries, yep. I'm like, "And these are the brake lines." And he's like, "Oh, we don't do brakes." I'm like, "What do you mean you don't do brakes?" He's like, "Oh, well, we're a clutch place." Talking to me like I'm a fucking idiot and I know nothing. I'm like, "I know you're a clutch place, but like, the brake lines are the same shit. They're the same fittings, they're the same hose, like, yeah, like, what's the difference?" And he's like, "Well, those ones are for brakes." And I'm like, I fucking know they're for brakes. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, is there a difference between the stainless fucking braided shit you use on the clutch lines to the shit you use on the brake lines? And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna go talk to my manager." Fucking talks to his manager and 5 minutes later comes back, says sorry, and that I was right, but apparently they don't have the fittings. So after that, I'm just like, Australian Clutch Services can get fucked. They treated me like I'm a moron, probably because I'm trans, and then they didn't even have the fucking fittings anyway. You know, honestly, I probably should have just sent my brake lines to the same place I got all this shit done, because they actually do brake lines. The thing is, I wanted to go to this Australian Clutch Services place because it's a little bit closer to home, and I heard good things about them. Anyway, so I actually have some fucking content for this video. I'm going to install the roof lining. So these little wiry bits, they have like a round sort of end and another elongated end. What you want to do is hook these on, have the elongated end towards the back of the car. You just want to hook these on here, like so, and then the fun begins. Now the elongated bits of those wiry thingies hook up just in these little notches here on the roof. Okay. So just hang in there like that. Alright, so that's one rod in. So as you can see, they go on these little clips. These little metal rod things that hold that up are now up there pretty solid. And I can continue the other rods now. That's pretty much in, and all the rods are tensioned up. I just need to pull it really tight and try to get some of these creases out. I hope I can. I'm hoping by gluing this up onto here it fixes that, but we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna have to glue that on, put the pinch weld on, and then do the same at the back. That's gonna be fucking tedious. But like, that already looks better than the brown for sure. It's gonna match the black interior so good. I am never going to ever tackle a task like that again, because that was a fucking nightmare. But it actually turned out pretty fucking good, if I'm honest, and it looks way better than the dirty ass brown. So the only thing I have to do is put the, you know, the visors and stuff in, and the light, although I have to try to find a black light. I've got a black mirror. I just don't have black sun visors. Yeah, pretty much I just have to put all the trim back in now. I'm never doing that again. That was a fucking nightmare. God, trying to fucking pull it like nice and tight and then clip it on each thing was just... Fucking why? Why, Toyota? You had solid roof linings in the lift backs. Why didn't you just do them for the fucking coupes? They did them for the GTs, but not the fucking LTs, so fuck knows why. Folks, it is a new day. With the roof lining in, I'm gonna tackle more interior stuff. Yesterday I was actually sick. I was really dizzy and throwing up. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I'm still a little bit dizzy today, but I really want to get some work done. So yeah, with the roof lining in, I'm gonna tackle some more interior stuff. And one of the first things I had to do was actually paint another dash frame, because this dash frame is the only black one I have, factory black, and it's fucked. It's hacked up and it's fucked basically. So I picked out a good brown one. I just went and washed it. It's hanging up drying, and I've cleaned the back room. Not this back room. This one's still a shit fight. But this room back here, I cleaned up. Have plenty of space to move around this table. I'm pretty much gonna plonk it here, close the door, and just spray paint it. The other thing I have to do is modify a center console. I don't know if you remember or not, but a while ago, one of my other videos, I installed that equalizer. And I was meant to run it with a Series A surround like this. The problem is I don't have a rear section to match the front sections I've got. Well, no, sorry, I do, but they don't have the little glove box. I've got one just over there. I don't know if you can see that. It's a Series B. So I'm thinking of just cutting this, because this console's fucked anyway, needs repairs. And then, I don't know, probably just some metal plate in sort of an L shape so it can mount off the original mounting holes. So while I wait for the dash frame, surround, whatever you want to call it, to dry, I guess I will tackle fixing a console. To do that, I'm just gonna have to Dremel it, I think. So I'll probably have to put a disc on the Dremel and start hacking away. I scrubbed the fuck out of this. I'm gonna be using this stuff, which says plastic engine covers and components, interior or exterior plastics, will not flake, chip, or peel. You apparently don't need a primer. This is self-priming. This will be interesting. I finished painting the dash, like halfway through getting that one out, but it turned out really quite nice actually. It's like a nice satin finish, and it's actually surprisingly durable. Like, I'm scratching the fuck out of that with my nail. Look at that. It's not coming off. Like, this this is good shit. I'm actually impressed, because I used VHT's vinyl dye once and it didn't work very good, and I just haven't really bought much of their stuff ever again. But I'm impressed with this actually. I'm almost tempted to paint other interior parts just to bring it up to scratch. But there is one other part I have to paint, and that's the center console, which I've modified slightly to work with the Series B rear half. I've reinforced all the bits that tend to break with some plastic weld, JB Plastic Weld. Basically just piled some fucking epoxy resins around the edges of all the screw holes and here where they tend to crack. So hopefully this console's sturdy enough. But, I had to peel all the wood grain off of here. I'm gonna go scrub the fuck out of this, ready to paint it. And I've had to modify the front because there's normally a pocket that sticks out here, that doesn't work with the Series B console I'm using, which is that one just on the seat there. This is ugly as fuck and probably very temporary, and I'm gonna paint it black as well to match the console, but that pretty much just screws onto there. You don't see much of it once the B console is covering it, but this is pretty much just the mount I've come up with for now. Because I couldn't be fucked plastic welding something nicer and factory looking in there, but I've got heaps of these consoles, so I will make something eventually. For now though, this will do to make the interior look complete and get this through engineering. Cleaned up and ready for paint. It took way fucking longer than I originally thought it would because it had glue where all the wood grain used to be, and there was glue here on each corner with like little foam pads, and it was a freaking nightmare to clean up, but it's done, and now I'm going to give it its first lick of paint. While that's drying between coats, I've been working on pulling this dash out. As you can see, this section here is fucked, and that's the only reason I'm swapping dash. Yeah, factory black, and then this one's the one I painted, just teetering here. So I'm going to transfer everything from that dash to this one, all the clips and everything, all the things that go in here and all that jazz. And then this can go in pretty much, but I do have to work out a better position for the ECU, because right now it's just fucking hanging there. I am running out of daylight though, so after I do 2 more coats of paint on that console, I'm probably going to go inside, and I won't be able to work on this thing till Friday. It's Tuesday now, because I'm working Wednesday full day and then Thursday half day, so that day's a write-off anyway. I do, however, have some more goodies to show off, like this. This gear stick boot, right, looks pretty fucking good, eh? Looks like a store-bought item. Looks like something you'd buy from a restoration place. My wife made this, and she did a fucking awesome job. I have the best wife in the world. Like, it's killer. And like, she comes in here and shows me, and she's like, oh, it's alright. I'm like, bitch, please, that's amazing. The other thing I bought that rocked up today, that's completely unnecessary to getting this engineered and passing inspection and all that jazz. Completely unnecessary, but it's entirely necessary to being a cool bitch. RA28, RA23 front spoiler, and I reckon, looking at the front of my car, other than the center support, this will bolt straight on once I drill out holes in the sides. I reckon it'll bolt straight on. Fuck, that's a chunky looking spoiler. That's way more chunky than the one NooB used to have. This will probably go on after the car's been engineered and re-registered and stuff though. It's not going to go on now. I'm going to see if I can get it painted at a paint place along with the bonnet, or maybe a different bonnet, because I actually want to run TA27 hood flutes right in that groove on each side. So the scoops with the front spoiler should look pretty sick. But again, it's entirely unnecessary to, you know, getting this thing on the road. I'm just an idiot that likes to waste my money on shit that really isn't necessary. One last thing is I've pulled apart the Sony speaker because the speakers are shagged. So I'm going to take this into, I don't know, maybe Autobarn. They've got a lot, they do a lot of car audio shit there, and I'm going to try to get speakers that that'll fit to replace these pretty much. I need some nice bassy speakers. So I think, as uneventful as this episode has been, I might leave it here because it's probably dragging on because I fucking talk a lot, but next episode should definitely be more mechanical shit, I'd imagine, because I really need to get that diff test fitted to make sure my wheels don't hit anywhere. I figured if the diff is too narrow though, I could easily just run spacers, but anyway, that's a story for another episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. I know I promised more working on car stuff being filmed, but there wasn't heaps going on other than me cleaning and painting, and I figured the cleaning would be boring as fuck, so I'm really sorry, everybody. I will do better with the next one, hopefully. I know I keep saying that, but I feel like I just keep pumping out shitty videos that are just me talking. But anyway, I'm still talking now. Yeah, I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.